Surplus equipment. Coming just so you know.
Yeah, he just came in and filled it in and.
Yeah, all right. I'll take it.
Yes, I think we discussed that last
We
week.
need help.
Okay, yeah, that's where,
Hey, Rusty.
they gave us 5,000 for the, because and then they said since we stored it, we would just give it to us.
Straight down. We're done.
I thought they had to take it to the soil.
Yeah. Well, wait, Bill. All I do is.
We'll find out. In a couple of months.
Yeah.
Right.
Engineer fees.
They're closed. I hope you have insurance somehow. We'll be able-
Yeah.
We'll do you a favor. The house.
I agree.
Yeah.
The house is bad.
I can't like that.
I know.
How?
Right.
Yeah.
And then, do you guys still want me to get the appraisals?
Home daycare, legal witness.
He may be working on it. Well, until I left it up to Kim, and I can't. Tim,
First of all.
Are you working on getting appraisals?
the accounting firm.
Okay.
And then Greg,
Yeah.
Greg is going to give one, and he has to have my open. And Tim Webb, I think.
Yeah.
Jason, Tim Webb, I don't know where he's at, but he does a lot of Jason.
They have.
JR. Okay, good. I was thinking one from each area,
I mean, I really.
but Tim does it for Jay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because at the meeting, you left it up to Kit and I hadn't.
At the meeting, we kind of said it was gonna be like Kent and her, something about giving appraisals, but then you reached out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just.
That's fine.
No, you're fine. That's what you're fine.
Well, I need Greg. Okay.
Okay, I think I've got everything. What about next question?
Are you ready to start? Oh, my gosh. I'm happy.
I was gonna call.
I guess we'll go ahead and get started. Kent's gonna be running a few minutes late, so we'll pause for a moment of silence, say the pledge, and then we'll continue.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any public comments at this time?
I have received some bids.
We'll get to those here in a little bit. Okay, we got one.
I have one too.
Pete,
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna do that after we approve all the minutes and, okay. So, no, okay, no public comment, so we'll move on to approval of the minutes and the drainage board minutes. If I can get a motion from one of you guys.
I'll make a motion to accept.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. 3-0. Claims 1 through 164 in the amount of $138,415.58, and the payroll claims.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3-0. The review and acknowledgement of the Treasurers Bank reconciliation and monthly comparison report of the funds for October 2021.
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
3-0. October report of collections for the clerk, recorder, and sheriff's department.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. 3-0. Clerk's monthly report for October.
And I will second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
3-0. Okay. I guess we'll open up the surplus bid. We only received one for the equipment, the highway department, right?
Yeah, Rusty, you didn't have any, right?
Pardon?
Okay, oh, this was, okay. Yeah.
Do you need scissors or?
Yeah.
This is a bid for the highway department surplus.
Yes.
There was one bid received from Eric Robinson from Flat Rock, Indiana. It's all right.
Usually they're,
It's too late for that one.
Okay.
We're in the butcher mode.
he butchered it.
Sorry.
So it looks like they've made an offer for the Roscoe broom, the Ingram roller, and the Rayco roller. The Roscoe broom, an amount of $2,500. The Ingram roller, an amount of $2,500, and the Rayco roller, an amount of $1,500. A total bid of $6,500 for those three pieces.
I think we just
Make a motion. to take this
to
under-
accept these and take them under advisement. And
I'll make that motion to accept the bids, take them under advisement.
On the second.
all those in favor?
All right.
Yeah.
That was accept under advisement.
Yes.
And if that changes, we can change that after Kent gets there, if that's all right.
No, I understand. No problem.
Just want to make sure that's proper. I need copies of that, or they will, at least. Okay. Resolution 2021-49, this is authorizing the execution and submission of the NDOT agreements. And I think along with that, there's a LPA form that I would like to just sign and then have all the commissioners and then maybe have you sign as well, to cover ourselves, because NDOT usually changes. It's like, no, I need one with this. So if we can do that, and then this would just give authorization. I do have a DocuSign account, so I can upload these documents myself. If we see that, you know, Rusty, we need you, we can add that, but I think we should be okay on going down that avenue. So if I can, did you guys have a chance to review the resolution?
Yes.
Okay, it's kind of similar to what we had previously on the other community crossings.
I thought I did, but the resolution.
I have a copy of it, but it doesn't have the number. I just wrote the number.
Oh, here it is in green.
Okay.
I have it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hold on.
I'll make a motion to execute resolution 2021-49.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 3-0. Additional appropriation requests, and this one is not on our list of additionals, but have additional requests of $425,000 out of County General Commissioners.
Capital outlay, because we need to build, it's the building repairs.
Can you create
I
a
can't.
building? I mean, we'll have to find out, but I think we'll have to ask and see which, if it can be a capital outlay, because we've never purchased the building before.
So we want to enter capital outlay or new number?
If you can find out capital outlay or just create a new number for equipment, if you could reach out to, no, not equipment, building, like if you can reach out to DLGF or some other county.
Crunch. That's the thing.
Okay,
Has to be there. I don't know, Bill.
because you have to specify, you know, what the line item is. Okay, Well, maybe,
Ultimate building if I,
maybe we can
if
make a
not-
phone call to another county right after the meeting and to help you out. So anyway, can I get someone to make that motion to accept that? And do you have anything you want to say about?
Yeah, so just to bring everybody else up to speed on what this additional is for, I think we're gonna have two motions here. One to allow us to sign a purchase agreement, and two for the additional, for the money for the purchase agreement. The former Maple Corner building has been of interest of us for the last couple of weeks after the commissioners and council and some of our department heads have walked through it. The council and commissioners have decided to make an offer on that building. That's very promising. It'll help the courthouse alleviate some pressure here and help a couple of department heads expand and get what they need in the right form. There's a couple benefits to buying that building. A, it's in Covington. B, it's roughly 13,000 square feet, sitting on just under 3 acres of land. And a substantial part of building or purchasing this building is ARP funds can be used for some renovation projects where they can't be used on any new projects. So all combined, it makes for a great fit. If we can get this building purchased and renovated to help alleviate some pressure in the courthouse and to help some department heads get their needs fulfilled, it's a win-win for everybody. So with that being said,
And you might continue with, it's not just for 3 units. I mean, there's multiple departments that will
Yeah.
benefit, from this purchase versus if we'd have built new, it was just for 3 and a whole lot more money. So I think the council had a lot of discussion about it.
Yep.
And we did as well. So we thought this was the route we needed to take.
With that being said, I will make a motion to,
I'm gonna do the purchase agreement
yeah,
first.
I'll
Okay.
make a motion to allow us to sign a purchase agreement for the former Maple Corner building and the purchase price of $425,000.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. 3-0.
On the flip side of that, I will also make a motion to approve the additional funds from County General in the amount of $425,000 to fund the purchase agreement.
I'll second that.
All those in favor? Aye. 3-0. Thank you. Another additional appropriation.
Oh, timeout, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Go back to the, on the motion to sign the purchase agreement, it is contingent upon council's final approval
Yeah,
of that.
they haven't actually voted, but they do have our support on it.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Good one.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
All right. Moving on to the other additional appropriation for seeded. And this is for $20,000 for economic development dues. And this is our commitment to win for the next 3 years. So if we don't pay them this, we can encumber. Regardless, we were gonna have to do additional appropriation. It really was supposed to start next year, but we're just kind of starting it right now. And I did talk to Dudley about this, and he was fine with it.
And this was just presented at the last council meeting as well.
Yes.
So. And after some conversations and email, this was the next step to fulfill that.
Yes, we just need to have, there was no dollar amount that was being discussed, and with the surrounding counties, Tippecanoe, Montgomery were giving 30. I thought that was a little bit high, even though they were recommending 51,000. I wasn't comfortable, making that commitment. I don't think anybody else was. So Warren County did 25,000, and I think we felt comfortable with doing 20. And if we could give more, that will be a topic for discussion at a later time. But right now, we're just doing 20,000.
Morning.
So can I get a motion for the 20,000 additional, or you want to wait? Okay, thank you.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 3-0.
Who made the motion?
Tim did. And Andrew seconded. Do we need to go back to cover anything while Kent's here? before
We'll
we
catch
move
him
on?
up at the end, sure.
Okay. Additional appropriation for county general commissioners for the retirement in the amount of 12,500. And I don't know if you want to, we'll do. We can combine that with the group health insurance in the amount of 100,000. I know that there's a little bit of money in some of your health funds, but I think you'd want to
We've
be
got like 200,000, but everybody seems to try to get everything done at the
at
end
the
of the year.
year, right?
So it's mainly just a cushion,
Yes.
so
And
hopefully.
I thought so, because a lot of times, you get down to 300,000 and you're biting your nails, on,
Yeah.
are you gonna get through? So
200.
we'll just,
Oh, Carol's got a question.
Is this for all the employees or just for the commissioners?
no,
No, this is for everybody. This is the whole county payroll.
We'll take it to Carol.
It's for everybody that's paid out of the general fund.
Carol, it's always been in the commissioner's budget, but it's, for everyone. Okay. All right. So with those two amounts, we'll just make one motion for both of those if we could.
I'll make a motion for the 112,500.
Okay.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Cade's Hollow Covered Bridge insurance coverage. I'm not sure that we have coverage. I did reach out to some other commissioners. And they do have some coverage, but of course it's through their parks department as a fixed asset. So Kent, I don't know if,
That would be a question for Charlie Pilecki.
okay, that's what I thought.
Okay, I have talked with Charlie. Charlie first said, we have liability insurance, like it's a pedestrian bridge. But if it would get storm damage, hail damage, fire, any of that, it is not covered. And the council was questioning me on it. If they put that money into it, they want to make sure.
Well, we should ask the insurance agent about how much it would cost to add that to the county's. We should have a general property and casualty policy that would cover what you're just talking about. And if it's, then we'll do all about this,
Yeah, you just have to set a value on it.
And
And
see,
that's what he said. We need the year constructed, type of construction, including what the deck is made from, address and values.
now do you have
Yeah, this might be.
well, in that little pamphlet, there's information of the age of the
Right.
structure and everything. Is there enough information there to,
Well, the deck would be in wood.
yeah,
Um,
I mean, would that be sufficient for Charlie? I guess give it to him and then see if he needs more because,
But what about the value of
He's
it?
probably gonna have to reach out to a specialist. I don't know. who-
yeah, because some of these other counties, they're insuring it for what it costs them to build. Well, if ours are so old, we don't know what it costs.
Did you get the backside of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, has anybody reached out to Park County and see how to do theirs?
I did not reach out to them. I reached out to some of the other counties, Montgomery County
Good
and
example
Hamilton.
of that would be the Bridgeton Bridge. When they rebuilt that, it was basically all volunteer effort. Lumber was cut in Park County, cut on the site down there. Would have been millions probably. So you just, at one point, you got to set a limit to cover your losses. If we have $500,000 in it, insure it for $500,000. Or something, whatever we have in it, because you're not going to insure.
Just see
it
what you
for-
can.
For one, there's going to be no replacement value because you can't replace it.
Right, okay. I will get the chart.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, and so the town of Hillsborough, I guess this is, what is their next step for their project? And I think they're wanting to use ARPA funds, correct?
Yes.
I think we need to meet. I talked to Dudley the other day. We need to get our plan together of what we're willing and,
Is there like a formal request form that they can submit?
I think it should be a
I
formal.
have told them, they need, I mean, I don't know, I've told on this twice, I've told this town of Hillsborough twice or 3 times.
Well, this was Alan that came
Yeah.
in.
Okay,
And I said, I told him at least twice, maybe 3 times. Town and him need to get together, get a letter together on what the project is. You know, how much they're willing to put in also, and turn it in to you guys. Brandon, Dudley, and Colleen is the committee. I said, without a formal request, they can't start anything.
Okay,
So I don't know. It's for ARP money, Hillsborough, taking sewer out to that progress. Beside that. It saved about 50 or 60 jobs in the county. I about promise you they leave if they don't get it. And it's a nice place.
So they need to make a formal request.
they need to make a formal request. We need to meet, and then if we're,
Right.
once we know, about the Maple Corner building and we want to start with the renovations, we need to set a dollar amount of what we're wanting to spend as well and submit that paperwork so it can all be on file.
you want to set a date for this?
Yeah, I'll get with you and Dudley maybe afterwards and we can set a day. I mean, do you want to do it before the end of the year? Because I know the end of the year is kind of busy for you.
Any date next Monday? No, the following Monday.
You might want to talk to Jake too.
Oh,
Okay, we're needing to set a date.
Jake German.
Oh, yeah.
Just not so much on Hillsborough, but for ours, just to,
Right, yeah, I'd like. to
he's
have
verbally said yes, but I would like to.
Kent, would you want to be involved in a call or have Jake come here and meet with us so that we can get some things set for our ARPA?
Yeah, I'll do whatever.
Can you check your schedules and see what works for you and then what
It's
next
probably
month?
easier to have Jake say when he's available, and then I'll.
Okay.
try to-
Okay, do you want to reach out to Jake?
I can, yeah.
Okay, see what he has available and so that we can all meet and get started, because we need to work on getting our plan together.
Yeah.
And if Hillsborough's wanting, we want to make sure and implement that. I don't,
Yeah, it's,
you will.
I believe so.
yeah.
And so Ken's going to reach out to Stu.
I'll talk to Stu, but I mean, I'm pretty confident that you can use ARPA funds for sewer and water. and
Right.
stormwater. So, but as far as, this is Hillsborough's municipal sewer works to extend out, I don't know if they need, and so I'll talk to Stu, if they need, I don't know if they do. But they can have extra, they can go outside their jurisdiction with their sewer, and it's the towns. So it's probably just funding from the county.
Mhm.
the little
Yeah.
cities.
Yeah, it is. That works.
So I'll talk to Stu, and then we can, on the bigger ARPA picture, we can be
Okay.
happy to sit down with Jake.
because that's the only two things that I'm aware of any request for use of the funds. And I know we've got about half our money, right?
Well, we have to have an agreement between the town and the county on that. probably.
We may,
intergovernmental.
I'll do that, but, for example, Darlington has an electric utility. And they've extended outside of their territory, and I think they've worked with Montgomery County on that, but I don't know how formal it has to be.
Okay. Okay. And then the Fountain County Genealogy Society.
They're wanting a copy, a scanned copy of that very old road district map. And they'll furnish the flash drive. I talked with Kent
Okay,
through email. They'll provide the flash drive. We don't have it scanned yet, but it needs to be scanned.
Mhm.
So I told them if you guys give the approval to let them have a scanned copy, we would work on it as we had time.
That's just a good, talked to a colleague about it, and I think we talked about it before, but just in public records requests generally, the commissioners can pass an ordinance that has a policy on how everybody basically just says what the statute says, and how we're supposed to follow those, but you can also set, and since everything's electronic now, I have to check the statute. I don't think we can charge for electronic copies, like we're just gonna email the electronic records, but we, just like we passed with the sheriff's department on the video recordings, we can set a per page limit for people that want physical
Okay.
copies. Without that ordinance, we can't charge anything.
Right.
The other thing I want to evaluate is, can we set, because it's a lot of work for everybody in your departments to get the requests. And can you charge an amount just for the time that's involved in getting the checking and getting all that together? So
Okay.
try to start working on that. It's okay.
I don't have a problem. Do you want us to make a motion or?
No.
Okay.
I'd like to-
Colleen would like for us to make a
Yes.
motion.
Well, no, I don't need a motion. I just want to work on the ordinance because I think
Okay,
it's something that's needed. Because those copy,
yes.
making copies is kind of non-existent anymore. Everybody wants electronic.
I mean, it still takes time, but yeah.
Right. So it's okay to let them have a copy of that.
Mhm.
Okay.
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 Did you want to backtrack a little before we go into department heads?
Can
Yeah.
we, between the, which you got a little bit of hindsight last Friday, but the former Maple Corner building, we're gonna make a formal offer on that building, and we made a motion, so us commissioners could sign a purchase agreement contingent upon the council's approval of funds, and we made a motion to do additional funding from county general for the purchase of that purchase agreement. Do those two motions make sense? Do they need to be altered in any way?
No, I think that's fine as long as those, just the preliminary steps for that, or the offer, whatever you offer can't be more than the average of your two appraisals for that property.
I doubt if that will be a problem to you.
No.
Be surprised.
Yes.
Are there any environmental concerns on that building? Usually when you purchase a building like that, you do a phase one environmental site assessment.
So we talked, and Dudley and I talked about that. That can be done. That can be contingent upon the purchase agreement, of course. We haven't signed anything yet, so that's all can be discussed. Of how we sign that.
If there is one required, I can help with that, but make sure, you know, is it gonna get financed outside of the county?
No,
Okay, so you can waive that. Usually it's the bank or the lender that requires that.
right.
What's the history of the building? Just a restaurant and a bar? Always been a restaurant and a bar?
Yeah, there was a gas station there.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
But it was literally probably all covered up with cement. wasn't it?
Well, you know, I just, he wants to know.
Oh, yeah, no, that's absolutely right, yeah. Yeah.
Even there on the corner, I mean.
We got a
even
basement.
the big part is under basement,
Yeah.
there's a basement, so it's all been dug out. It's all been at some point or another.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Would you want me to prepare the purchase agreement, or is the seller gonna have one?
if you're more comfortable with yours, I'm okay with that. I assume, so we're working with a lender on, or a realtor on it.
Either way, if they have one, then I can modify it, or
Okay.
I can send you my form. Yeah, just like Roger mentioned, you want it contingent on phase one, and a survey if you want to have it.
Yeah.
Eliminate any future boundary issues,
Right.
and inspections and all that, that typical real estate goes on.
I wonder if there's not a little survey from when this guy bought it. He wanted it before he was possible. I know he did sell land on it because he sold that shed back there.
Oh,
If
okay.
you sold land, there should be a survey somewhere.
Yeah, he sold his tool shed that sits behind the boat place right now. Yeah.
Then definitely there's gotta be somewhere a survey.
More than been Mike Stump, he sold land. There should be a
It
survey.
might have been Mike. that said that. Okay. That it? Okay, we're gonna move on to the department heads. Garth is not here, but he's online. Is he need anything?
Yeah, the only thing I need to bring up is the,
Barb, do you need,
can you hear me? Can you hear me?
okay. Is the sheriff here?
In the corner.
So one thing I got to report, I have 10 Sullivan County, 17 million, and 1 award, so I got 28 County awards. The rest of them. And I got a thing from Colleen the other day, so year to date, we're at 261,000. Among all the counties. So,
Okay,
you have any-
Good.
Thank you.
I don't know.
Hey, Sheriff,
Yes.
saying for after the meeting, right, we'll have a review that you're in
What review?
it.
Solar? Yeah. Yes.
That presentation you made to the council last week,
Mhm.
would any of that be available for art?
Yes, so the chief deputy actually talked to Dudley, and you're talking about the camera system. So we can actually use some of that from that.
Okay.
I'm just not sure how we're going to.
Terry,
Yes.
what was the breakdown on the prisoners? 10 per
We have 10 Sullivan,
17
17
per
per million, 1 more. I mean, that's at 37.50 a day, so we're around 31,000 a month.
Warren full?
Huh?
Is Warren full?
No, it's just from job.
Okay.
Um,
I was gonna say that, I think I've been there before for years.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we've taken some of the problems. I mean, we got one from Vermillion County there, and it's like problem child, and they're pretty dull, so marginal, so.
Mention Park yet.
Okay,
Now, Park actually came up and took the rest of those back because apparently COVID had went away. Anyway,
okay,
Also, Sheriff Wolf was nominated as one of the sheriffs of the year from ISA, also last conference.
Wow, congratulations.
all right.
I got a plaque.
Let's try
So-
guard one more time.
Okay, well, Sheriff, if you're are you wanting to go after ARPA funds for the camera system?
How much was it?
We'll be fine.
I
Well,
mean, that's one.
we'll be fine, but I'll need something from you if you're wanting to request to
So you
use
guys,
funds.
are you guys need the quotes in your hand?
If you're gonna
I
get quotes,
probably-
yes.
We've only got one, and that's, I mean, that's the best of the best in the state of Indiana.
Okay, I just need something to go off of so that the committee can review it and,
How much is that quote for? Roughly, I don't
It's a
need,
5-year contract, basically, it's 176,000, 5 years. So for 35, 36,000.
it's a service.
It's a service, yeah.
Okay.
So we pay for the software, not the hardware.
Right.
It's stored in the cloud, so it's not on a server anymore. So that way we're not taking up space in the server. Brad had to come fix all that from previous body cams. just
Fix
took up
that, take it
Too
out,
much space.
new servers. I mean,
Okay.
it's certainly expensive.
okay. Well, we're starting to see, there's some needs and everything. So if the funds are, you're wanting to use those funds, we're just having them go through a process so that we can kind of evaluate the needs. Sure. Because we're trying to work on a date with Kent and Jake German and Colleen and Dudley and I, so that we can start moving forward. Okay.
Hang on, Carol's right there on my phone.
Would you get any breaks if the cities would go in with you folks on that, or?
No, it would be all separate. So they would pay for their own software on that.
Now, you talk about the breaks here, so another thing I'm doing, I've actually got, I got a meeting today with my school. Once I get this all initiated, and we can't have it. Could be involved somewhere down the line. So with that, our insurance company will knock 10% off of our liability insurance.
Awesome.
So once I get this implemented, which be 4 to 5 months, then we'll start getting money like that. So try to save money somewhere.
Thank you. Okay, let's try Garth one more time, see if we can get him on board.
Yeah, we can't hear
Hear
him.
me?
That's what he said.
Garth, he had just texted and said he could hear us, but we couldn't hear him. He would like to have approval to move forward with the assistance of the firefighters grant to purchase equipment. He said they've done this grant before, previously, or they applied for this grant before. He just needed our permission to move forward with that grant process on his behalf. And then they're looking at a power load system for the ambulances.
Fire. Just everything. All the fire departments. I don't remember.
You hear me?
Oh, okay.
It's a
Okay,
great.
thank you. For the cost.
So is he just wanting permission for him to move
Yes.
forward and apply for the grant?
Yes,
Okay,
We need a motion on that?
I'll make a motion to give
I think we do.
him permission to continue on with the grant process.
Also,
All those in favor?
Aye.
3-0. That way we have it in stone.
Right.
misunderstanding.
Okay,
He's
we'll
texting.
move on. Did he text?
Yeah, keep going. I'll
Okay.
bring it back if something comes up.
Okay. Health Department, Jenny, do you have anything or?
I don't have anything other than continuing on our,
Okay,
Yeah, our associate who was working on those, sadly left our office for, he thinks he needs to do the Lord's work and be a prosecutor, so.
Get the number?
So, no, that was, Jordan. Okay. So you're good loss for us, so, Ethan and I are going through all those files, and we need to, we'll get with you soon and just do a full file review on all the cases.
What we're talking about, then. I don't know whether it's health department or zoning or what.
a little bit of both.
General trailer, you can't
Yeah,
have trailer.
That's supposed to be
Zoning
right.
change.
Yeah.
It's probably the most effective. Okay.
Mhm.
I think we can,
We meet on the 18th, so we can discuss it.
Yeah.
I mean, reason I'm pushing for that, it's never a new trailer or anything close to 10 years old. It's 20 and 30, 40-year-old trailer move in, and it always turns out to be a mess. I mean, every time. So I think we have an ordinance that prohibits it to stop a lot of that.
Yeah,
The neighbor complaints.
we got there, it's, that specific issue is tricky. Zoning can control where things go, we can control. We set standards for locations in relation to other zoning classes, but actually prohibiting structures. I'm not going to heavy truck trees on. Okay.
Rusty,
Hey,
you're up.
I'm not as young as Jerry, so I'm gonna sit down. The young guys stay all day. I do want to report to you that, and maybe you've all seen it, that we received quite a sum of money through community crossings to the tune of $999,749,746. And the next council meeting, I'll apologize to them for walking out of their meeting after reporting that. I think that's a big accomplishment for Fountain County to receive almost $1 million for our community crossing program. And I thank our current people that are working on that, USI and what have you. We are also at the process of putting in for a additional for next year, a Second phase, I think, was November 15th, maybe, or December 1st. We are already in the process of planning more for that following. And it is an asset, yet it doesn't really help our economy, other than we have better roads to drive on. So. And then the sun. We have worked with the people down at the garbage transfer station. We were doing an experiment on a piece of roadway. But I said the machine couldn't handle, and they proved me wrong. And this is an awesome machine. It's called a Bomag recycling machine. It's very expensive. It broke down before we finished that section. I thought maybe it was because of the Durham and what have you, but we found out it was a prior lease agreement. They didn't put the oil back in the drum, and needless to say, the machine went down. The parts are there, they're fixing it, they're sending it back to us for our demonstration. I mean, this is no cost to us. So we're going to finish that section of the road to see what this machine will actually do. And if you were down there, I know Tim was there, and I sent several photos and videos to the rest of the commissioner.
I just got pictures. I didn't see the videos.
Oh, you didn't see?
I never got the
I've
videos. Okay.
This machine completely recycles the pavement, whether it be gravel, blacktop, or what, down as far as 23 inches that you work. When it brings it up, it is up, way up. We ran the rollers over, graded it, and then sealed it again with a steel wheel roller. And I'm telling you that I had to eat a lot of crow because I said it couldn't do it. The machine is also capable, if you're doing, for example, a blacktop, just go down and mill down 4 inches. You can actually literally hook the blacktop machine to this one and feed the oil back through, and when it comes out, it's brand new. Now, that sounds all nice, but that's $1 million piece of equipment. It's a very high maintenance piece of equipment, and it travels at approximately anywhere from 70 feet per minute to 100 feet a minute. So it's a long process, but your end result could be as good as a 20-year investment in a highway. I mean, you got to weigh and measure, try to decide which way you want to go. I'm just fortunate the fact that they said they could do something, and I challenged them, and they gave us a week free, so to speak. So we're going to take advantage of that. I also attended a class at Purdue along with Commissioner Hardy. We watched a video on fog seal, which is something we've never done that I'm aware of. When you chip seal a road, we just usually leave it. Fog seal is a very, very inexpensive per highway cost. Deal to gain about 3 to 5 more years on your road. It's very easy to put down and apply. It doesn't take a whole crew like we do when we chip seal or blacktop. And I was fortunate with the mulch code, made an offer I couldn't refuse. This is not the time to fall, but we did, and it was very successful. We finished that project last week. A lot of comments and compliments have been made on our chip seal road from 341 to Covington. And they asked us why we messed up from 341 to Wingate. We didn't do that. That was milestones, chip seal. We did fog it for them, but it was their chip seal. And the impressive thing for me was when you could take a pocket knife, get out, and you can see the cracks, but it's like your driveway. You can take that pocket, you can't chip through that stuff. It hardens like, I mean, it's just amazing, and water repels on it. Snow, where that road was done, wasn't sticking near to that as it's a regular chip seal road. Sunday was a good. You got to drive the Stone Bluff Road, that black heated up faster than the rest. So that being said, those are a couple things that we, Travis and I, have been working together to try to figure out a way that when we do chip seal, that'll be the application right now. We'll do it all one shot from here on out. Thankful for community crossings, the way they've helped us with a lot of things. They're doing quite a bit of stuff for us. Been a lot of questions on road markings and what have you. We've never marked roads in Fountain County that I knew of. The only one that's ever done was 300. And the reason it had to be done, it was a federal grant. And anytime you have a federal grant, you have to mark. Generally, ours are considered roads, not highways. Therefore, roads have no markings versus what the recommendations are for. So to answer questions on why we don't, that's why. It is a very, very expensive cost to the county. I think that was one of the main things that caused a lot of temperament through me last week as far as why don't we mark those? And we can't afford them, just to be perfectly honest, and the law does not require it. So with that being said, that's going to be something between you guys and the council or whoever decides how you want your road programs to go. Well, the one thing I would like to say back on the reclamation machine, most of our roads were built for horse and buggy. Most of them are still for horse and buggy. So anytime we cut a road in 3 or 4 inch rain, we got a mess. Okay, we're trying to develop them into passable 30-foot passage roads, whether it be gravel, chip seal, blacktop, or what have you. It's almost impossible because of the right-of-way issues. And a good example of that is what Roger and I looked at on Vision Road. We got a serious issue that the poles are 15.2 inches from the center of the road. They're right there, just like driving through a tunnel. And as we talked, nobody bothered them when they put it in the middle of the ditch before. You're not going to get them to move it down. Aylesworth intersection, same scenario. When we looked at that, we're not going to get them to move those poles. Can we help the farmer? We're going to try. We're going to try to make it a wider turn there. And I said, try. I gave the farmer a couple options to do. I told you that. We're still working with him on how we want to address that issue and trying to get not so much right away, but forward, I guess, would be a permission. So that being said, there's a couple other issues that I had with, they were right-of-way issues. I was told it was my responsibility, and I contacted Roger, and I'm telling you, we don't pay him near enough money because he saves the county a fortune on this right-of-way issue, and he's going to get with Mr. Manette on it. I have the maps. I had a smile from ear to ear. Friday was probably the best day I've had since I've been at the highway. The news that Roger gave me, because for once I was right and I could prove it. So that just made me feel on top of the world, and I can't thank you enough. But right away is a big issue in this county, and a lot of it has to do with the drainage. And I'm just like, well, you people put somebody to run the drainage program so we can actually get and work together, get some things done. If you notice throughout the county, Duke Energy right now is just dumping dirt in our ditches to make access. When we get 4 or 5 inch rains, something's going to go, whether it be the road or the field, going to get rut, something's going to happen. And we're trying to address that issue right now. So we're trying to get on top of it before it gets too far out of hand. So that's, unless you guys have something about the only thing I've got going right now. And like I said, I've been working with Roger. I appreciate him. And a lot of sense on for us. in our liability.
Are we closing on that road in Franklin?
That's up to you guys. I would recommend you close it. A property owner backfilled the hole, moved my barricades, took the signs, the poles, the snow fence, everything, and moved it. And then put a wood burn in the middle of the road, so. I think the best interest of liability of the county is the commission pass the ordinance and down the street.
You could vacate that street.
Yes.
There's a process to go through. Can't walk you through it, but you could vacate that street.
Does it affect anybody else?
It's the easy way out.
Yes.
And it doesn't affect anybody else? It's only affecting that one?
There's just one house on that corner and that's it.
It's a through there though. Can't, it's a loop.
Yeah. Not now since he stuck wood on.
Well, what he's doing is illegal. You can
Right.
sure remove all that stuff.
Right.
You can't just close the road. That's a county road.
Right.
But if you vacate that road,
You vacate, it just becomes private property there.
right,
And
They can drive on their own road.
you'd want to talk to the fire chief, to see how he would turn his big vehicles if they go one way and there's no cul-de-sac, no turnaround. That could be a problem.
Right.
There's a process to go through. We want to make sure that the safety and welfare of other residents are not affected by us vacating the road.
But that releases our liability too.
That's an interesting one. I think we should probably give Kent a little bit of time to look into that. And I think we'll be Kent on that. Okay. There's just no turnaround for a fire truck to go in there.
Right.
Rusty, did you say that the recycling machine would take care of ditching also?
I'm sorry, what?
I was thinking at one time you said that recycling machine would take care of ditching also. It won't?
No.
I have a question.
Yes.
So as far as your equipment that you have leased right now, I mean, you're pretty secure, correct?
Pretty much.
Okay, we have enough funds and everything.
I'm
Anything?
hoping.
Okay, so I know you had came to us, asking for the monster machine. I don't know what else to call it.
Yeah.
Because I think we can lease out of MVH
Yes, we
restricted.
can.
So
Yes, we can. We found that out.
might want to discuss that, before we do anything, but
We're,
if there is a need,
I'm looking at that proposal.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. What I want from them is maintenance. What are those? I mean, you go through these little teeth, you have to have 2 to 3 buckets, of these carbide tip teeth in this machine all the time. Well, how much is a bucket of those things?
Right.
I
And
mean,
so probably need to
those are
find-
500,000.
right, might want to find out on that, but,
Right.
just looking forward, I know that's always been, well, what can I use MVH restricted for? So,
Right. Well-
that would help out your MVH fund.
On those bids that we received is way more than anybody offered us on our trade-ins, because we were looking at new room. We already got new rollers and they wouldn't give us anything for them, so as far as I'm concerned, there's no
Yeah, we need to
restricted
revisit
account
some
on those,
of these.
you can do whatever you want, it's,
Oh, yeah.
they're boat anchors that are gonna cost us tons of money. And we really can't afford to put money in, which is the same thing, I'm glad you brought that up. We have 2 motor graders that are out of warranty, they're over 13 years old. I had looked into possibility of redoing the leases, but I haven't seen the budget, I don't know, I just know they said they cut me $1.6 million, so whatever that is, that's fine. But those motor graders they're at the point, they're gonna cost us a fortune. And I did receive bids, way back a month or so ago. I got a notice on these bids, they went up 7.5%. I can't help that. At that time, they were allowing us almost $88,000 per motor grader on trade-in. And lease payments would have run us at that time $55,748.75 per grader. So that's another 112,000. But that gives you all warranty. That's what John Deere comes to take care of them. And you've got rid of what's going to be boneyard material. So I'm going to pursue those again, close to the first of the year. And the only reason I'm doing that is because I know that we're getting to the point where those two older graders are going to cost us a fortune to maintain. And maintenance, we can't take out of restricted, but
Right.
the other we can.
Please.
It's just something to think about. The other thing I showed you something to think about. The big machine is definitely something to think about. If you're going to invest in long-term production of these roads. Now, I'm not staying long enough to say it now, I can tell you that right up front. But these are things that we finally got a right of way after since 1961. You guys developed right away. You've done a lot to help us, and I appreciate it. In my 50 years in service, I've never seen three commissioners vote 3-0 on everything in a meeting ever. So I just hats off to you guys for working good together. I think you're very interested. I know the attorney has worked hard to get us some right of way. Our biggest problem is like Roger says, founding fathers allowed this stuff to be put. And they shrunk us clear in. You're not gonna have the super highways that you want, but we can make them better. We can make them firm. We can make them last longer. And those are the things I'm looking at, and you're very fortunate to have a man that's been through it. Travis is so in on all that stuff, and he stayed with it, and he's got great ideas. I just think that your head's the right way. I thank you for doing it, so if there's anything I can do, just let us know, we'll be glad to help. But, and I tell you, I really appreciate Roger, because he's bailed us out on right away and other issues that before we didn't went head first into and got in trouble. And thank God that he's been there, that I can call him anytime. He said, no, you better wait a minute when you talk again, or what have you. So it's an asset, and believe you, these days, we need assets.
Man, I need to leave.
Yeah.
I can ask you to remove your hat.
Now, if you guys don't do that paperwork and lawsuit, you know it.
Okay.
Do we have a thoroughfare plan? For the
A what?
a thoroughfare plan? That's something we may want to look into implementing. A thoroughfare plan basically tells you what roads are local roads, what are collectors, what are major roads.
Yeah, I think that's in the page. The page might.
Do you want us to share that with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that would clear up a lot of the right of ways or the lack of right of ways. And then, we can go through the legal process of establishing that as a,
We can share it.
Yeah, I think that's in the page of USI.
I don't know what a
The
pacer
page
is.
of the payment, something.
Yeah, I can't
It's basically an inventory of roads. What shape they're in. what-
Yeah.
Well, that's part of the thoroughfare plan.
Yeah,
So if you don't mind sharing that with me.
but it does say.
A collector.
A collector, yeah, it does break it down that way.
Okay.
Right, and the other thing is, it's supposed to be bringing this up, the same thing with the state. The maps that we have were last done in '85. They're way outdated as to what roads we are being paid for, what we aren't being paid for. And when you look at most of it, it's like you and I talked of actually going out and surveying these roads in a couple, 3 days. When you look at the survey lines on the maps, this road may have 20 feet on this side of the line and none on this. They're not true to actual survey as to who's responsible for what. So when you try to do the right of way, well, I was coming 20 foot over here on me and he had nothing on him. So in order to do it, you gotta have something that's gonna actually say, here's the roads, here's what NDOT's paying. And we go from there.
Tim or Brenda or Andrew, if you guys can share with me that plan that exists,
We'll get it.
and then I'll come back to you with a proposal to update it to become a county thoroughfare plan
Right.
that shows where everything is. If there's any changes in the roads since it was its inception, we can resurvey them. And that's an easy ranger ride, really, with a GPS located on it. We can map them, and then we can work with legal on establishing a generic right of way. In fact, it used to be one rod, but I don't think that's enough anymore if he's putting 30-foot lanes in. So we can work on that part.
I just emailed it to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then, once we have that, then there's a process that we can go through that more or less it will establish what our boundaries and what our right of way actually is, and then that gives notice to all the owners, and then I believe that they either have to object at that point, and then you can work it out or litigate, whatever their claim is, that it should be less. Or then we're protected going on in the right of way that's established. So that's a great recommendation.
Did you want to revisit the surplus bid that we
Yeah.
received in our motion?
Kent, one other thing, we did receive bids for the highway surplus. Collectively, there were a total of $6,500, $2,500 for a broom, $2,500 for a roller, and $1,500 for another roller, correct? We did accept them, and to take them under advisement. But that sounds,
But Rusty's saying that those prices are better than if he'd have traded them, used them to trade in, so.
Yeah, the old statute just says you have to bid it. It's up to you whether you want to accept it.
So instead of just taking under advisement, I mean, we can accept it.
accepted.
Yeah, the bid notice said they were as is, no warranties. So. There you go.
You want to change your motion to
So-
accept?
We'll accept the bid collectively, $6,500.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
3-0. And Roger, just let me know if you need some more information, because I know USI has sent us that because we went through community crossing to get that taser and their asset management plan. So if you need any of that, just let me know.
That is also bridges, roads and bridges will be on that asset.
Did we receive any bids on the Garth ambulance?
We did not receive any.
Figure out what that means, he can just do with it whatever he wants, or whether you have to bid it again.
Bumping back to Garth. The grant he's going after is a 95-5. The county would be responsible for the 5% of the grants. They applied for this grant a couple years ago and was turned down. He did present at the council, and the council's approval was contingent that we approved it also. So just to clarify that, we're approving for him to proceed with the grant, knowing that the county is responsible for 5% if he were to be awarded that grant. Clarifying that up. So if we need another motion, I'll make that motion, but
Okay, I think we're okay. aren't we?
yeah, I just wanted to clarify.
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, Joe?
Well, I just want to let you know, Kent, that we are in the works with USI on the Cade Mill Bridge. They're having Bonnie look into it because she must be the expert on covered bridge. So I'm thinking we're gonna have to start all over. So, they're aware. I'll get with Carol Freeze, and she was wanting her folder back, and so. That's fine.
Sounds good. USI can do whatever their contractor do, whatever that's just, that phase of it is a service. So there's
Okay. So we can do like an on-call or something, okay. All right. Are we done with you, Rusty? Can we move on? All right. Whew, all right. Joe, do you have
Joe.
something? You're on the edge of your seat.
I just want to remind you, our LAPC meeting is Thursday at noon, and our advisory board meeting is at 4 o'clock. That's all
I don't have anything.
Josh,
Pretty chill today.
Kathleen? Anybody else? Tom, you look like you have something to say. Come on.
I think you've answered, most of my hints that been. My concern was the legalities before we make an offer,
Yeah, sure.
and I've heard all of this. And, so. That we're doing that.
Yeah, so we'll get with Kent and Roger and whatever precautions we need to do prior to that purchase agreement, we will. It'll be in the purchase agreement before we sign it, like what we're gonna do in the meantime, so. We'll be sure that Kent reviews it, and if we need to get to appraisals, if we need to do environmental, that'll all be in that purchase agreement.
I went to the upper floor for an office.
Okay.
I've been up there, and I know what's up there. That's nice. That is flush. So I think we moved the highway upstairs. Sorry, Tom.
We're putting an age limit on those stairs.
I'll be ready, yeah. Yeah. Oh, there's an elevator there you didn't know about.
Josh didn't want to carry anybody down the stairs. It's his problem.
We're looking out for the safety of our more experienced members.
Thank you, sir. Oh, we're proud.
Anybody have anything else?
I do.
Okay, Brenda,
Kitchen equipment,
yes.
since the insurance company, first they want us to buy it, and since we stored it for a year or something, they're giving it to us. So I think there was some interest from the 4-H fairgrounds.
What I would say, and this isn't sleight of hand or screwing a statute, I think the easiest, so we don't have to get in whether we bid it or do anything, that we just ask if they're trying to give it to us, just have the insurance company donate it to 4-H.
Okay.
Okay.
Then it's that we're not really taking title to it, we don't have to
Right.
worry about.
Giving it or anything, they could just say,
They can just bypass us and then.
I brought up the fact it's not counted income, building corporation.
Well, yeah, well, even that, I mean, right now, it's the insurance companies.
Right.
They're subrogate.
Right.
Yeah, so, yeah, so we can avoid, one way or, we can avoid
did you
all
want to
that.
reach
by
out
just
to
having-
Colleen and see if
having
they could
them
just
Donate.
send an email and they'll just say they'll
That's why we have attorneys.
Yep.
donate it to them. Yes, that'd be good. Lead us out.
We can help, if they want us to help get it to them or something like that, but it's just, as long as it's not ours, we don't have to worry about
Yeah,
whether we solicit bids or anything like that.
okay. I didn't have anything else. The only thing I really wanted to bring up, I don't know if you all are aware with this, Commissioners Legislative Committee met, and AIC Legislative Committee is going to meet next week. And of course, there's been talk about doing away with business personal property and replacing it with something else. And no one really has any grand ideas. There seems to be someone, Doc Martin or Brown, yes, is pushing this. I don't know why, but I know Sandy, it's been talked about years ago, but yet no one really has anything. But I just wanted to make you aware that the elimination of business property is going to be huge. If we're wanting solar farms in here and having those lease, that's going to make a huge impact, for all of us, not just our county. So I don't really understand, I don't like paying it. I pay 3 times more on business personal than when I do on real estate that I own, just if you want a comparison. But I just wanted to bring that to your attention. So AIC will be meeting, I'll be going to that meeting next week since I'm on that committee.
Or is that against it?
Hmm?
AIC against it?
No one's really saying anything, but no one seems to have something to replace. What they're going to do? Do income tax, local income tax. So where is the savings to the people? There isn't. They're just hitting another area. Yeah, that's all it is.
Then you got your cap, so, you need the cap and the county doesn't collect the money. So the business, they need to keep it, yeah.
Just leave it alone. So I just don't understand, what the push is unless we want a pat on the back is all for doing away with it. But then we all feel the impact of it later on, the local level, because I've worked in those offices and I know what we had to put up with. But I just wanted you to know that that is being talked about, along with some other things, but that seemed to be the huge. So I do have their draft of, if you're interested in reviewing, right away, the county control, health department, they were kind of talking about that to where the state would control it and we would be out, some other things. So yeah, that's been frowned upon by the Commissioners Association. So Jake German's really on top of a lot of this. So, if you have any questions.
Lobbying is really, really good and important, but it's just my soapbox moment. The legislators, everything that local government does is just, it's all statutory, it's all by what the legislature says, and they sure act like they just want to run everything from Indianapolis and take more and more local control away. That's what they've done to the schools, without schools budget and everything. It's all prescribed by the state house, and it's just, we need people to run that understand local government, and I mean, just how important it is. Just all the basic services, you have to have the money to. With circuit breaker, everybody really lives within their means now, and they just should trust local government is the best government. The more the state house wants to take it away from us, it's just bad policy.
And I think that's where AIC has our backs, on that. And I know there's a lot of them on the commissioners board that, are well versed. Mark Harebrant, he's there at the State House a lot, talking to senators, congressmen. So it's reassuring to me, having those type of people there, so that we have our local support and the state, is not much possible. So other than that, I don't.
Andrew and Tom and I talked on Friday, and I thought about it off and on. It's time for a transport vehicle for my office, for the staff to use. And I would like the commissioners' input. If you want to lease something, if you want to buy something, if you want to try and find something used and inherit somebody else's problem. And then bring it in January and say, this is what we should be doing.
Tim.
Yeah, elaborate. I don't know, I mean, when I was born, we always, had Wally for one.
Right.
Funeral home director,
Well, he's not as reliable.
Okay.
He's out of town most of the time, he's teaching a lot, the vacation.
All right.
Carl's got that anyways.
That's an absolute no. You'll never get a body.
Problem is, probably, where will you keep it?
I live in the middle of the county. I have a 3.5 car garage for vehicles.
And what about the next one?
I trust all of my staff. The next corner, that's on you.
We'll leave it here, parked at the corner.
The problem
I
is
know.
when you get a call, so you're a deputy coroner in Aggie,
You gotta drive.
you're not gonna drive a gun and get a vehicle and whatever else, in my opinion, unless you have to.
What's,
I don't know, I just never, corners off highway. I mean, I know you bought a vehicle specific
Yeah.
to haul bodies.
Yeah.
But we compensate for that fairly well.
Right, and what I'm looking at is.
You haul a body.
Nobody else uses that vehicle, and we need
No, they
to
shouldn't.
streamline this process. Because these cases they are far more difficult than they were anyway. There's a lot more computer work, there's a lot more paperwork.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
The new regulation from the state. We can't have ambulances sitting on scene waiting and waiting, you know. And, you know, one of my deputies had to wait, she waited almost 2 hours. Because the funeral home picked up. So I had to go stop what I was doing, come home and go back and do the collection for, because that case had to go to hospital. So we need to be thinking about this.
What's Warren County do?
Great.
They use them. They use
And
them.
grade usually takes up at least an hour from the time you call
What's Montgomery County do?
them. They have 2 trucks.
They county owned truck? Or county supplied?
The on-call deputy takes it home last I knew. And then Warren. And
And that's the
huge
problem,
there.
we don't have them all, just kind of do.
But when I'm gone, there should be, you know, I like to take pictures. I like to go camping.
Right.
Last time I went camping, the bottom fell out. Brenda, you look like you have a
No, I mean, it's gonna have to be talked about by both council and commissioners on funding it.
Oh, I agree.
And like you said, where you gonna keep the vehicle? So not that it's a definite no, I think it's something we need to talk about. What's best, you know, for the county.
Right.
So. That was it. Just, yeah, things go through my head.
How many,
Yeah.
could you get us how many runs you had this year and
We got
how many hauls you've done?
36.
Better than 15. Are you hauling into the cooler, then you're hauling into the office. And then it's up to your home and then.
Well, Wally being out of the story because he was always gone on the spot. We paid him $300 a haul, do nothing for him.
And he's not, reliable. He's done 2 of the 35 calls.
Okay.
I think it's something we need to at least entertain.
Yeah,
And we'll get with the
absolutely.
council.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to buy vehicles.
No, I wouldn't either.
You can call it collection and put a nice term on it, but I still don't want that. in my vehicle. But I mean,
There's no rings, no shit.
Not in the works.
In the parking lot.
Once they get the new ones, he gets the
Well,
truck and by the end of the
what-
year.
there could be a canopy.
Yeah.
We could work something out.
The health department has that portable canopy.
Well, that's what I said.
That's what I
There could be a
yeah.
canopy- There could be a
You
canopy.
could get a
or something.
canopy or something, which at one time the health department, do they still have it?
Yeah.
Are they still using it?
Yeah, there is.
No, either for the better location for it.
Probably, yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Can't be over this jail. Sheriff keeps saying we're gonna get.
That's it. And I have to agree with what Tom said, is you have 3 years left of me. You can have the garage space for that 3 years. I trust my staff implicitly to get into the garage and get the vehicle. My garage is locked around the clock, that's I mean, so, I mean, it's, and then you've got 3 years to figure out what you want to do. I mean, if we're gonna buy a vehicle, okay, put a little dog, it's gonna have to have a little dog or something there anyway. So when I'm done with it, you guys give it to the next person. You know, but that's the thing, I don't wanna get out of my bed, drive somewhere else and pick it up and it's right there. Cause it's gonna have to, my truck has a camera, all of my documentation, spare set of clothes. Sometimes there's an SCBA in there, depending on the severity of the fall.
Okay,
Nope, I don't-
I just make a comment on that. I really, you ought to take a good look at it. You don't know what he's going to get to, or anybody else in the system. We don't know that. You know, he's going out there now, day and night. We don't know what. We don't know about the environment. He will pick up on you.
that's a good thing.
And here he's got all his family. I know we compensate $300, you know, whatever. That may be nothing compared to what this situation is. And you all welcome. We just talked about it. I think we ought to take a look at it.
Anything else?
We,
We're done?
we keep saying this, we keep coming up with something.
I just wanted to, Thursday will be closed. The
Mhm,
auditor's office,
right.
just a reminder for training.
Anything?
No,
Okay.
wow.
I guess we're done.
They've got all the upgrades for everybody.
Thank you.
That's all comes to like, when he said, you're clicking around, right?
She gave you the training.
Okay.